They miss you, you feel it, you sense it in the silence, in the way their absence still lingers like an unfinished sentence. But they're not calling, they're not coming back. And every day you wake up asking yourself the same impossible question. If they miss me, why are they still gone? This isn't just a story about heartbreak. This is a story about truth, the kind that nobody tells you. The kind that shakes you awake from the fantasy that love always finds its way home. Because right now, someone out there is aching for you in private, but they will never say it out loud. They will never fight for you. And the reason why, it's going to change how you see everything. You've been living inside their silence, hoping it means more than what it is. But the truth is, there's a pattern here, a psychology, and once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it again. In this video, we're going to peel back the layers of what avoidants really feel when they miss you but still stay away. We're going to expose the fears they don't talk about, the battles they never let you see, and the reason they'd rather lose you than face their own vulnerability. This isn't just about understanding them, it's about reclaiming you. Your clarity, your self-worth, your power. Stay with me until the end, because once you hear this, you will never chase silence again. People assume missing someone is always followed by action. But for avoidantly attached people, missing you doesn't mean they'll move toward you. It often means they'll pull away even harder. And that's what messes with your head. Because you feel their absence, yet your intuition tells you they're still emotionally tethered to you. You're not wrong, but what you don't realize is this: avoidants do miss you. They just experience missing in silence, in retreat, in isolation, because for them, intimacy is danger. Vulnerability feels like exposure. They've spent years, sometimes decades, building emotional survival systems that taught them one rule: the closer someone gets, the more at risk you are. So what happens when you show up with real love, with emotional availability, with the desire for closeness, consistency, and depth? It activates their defense system. They crave love, but they don't trust it. They miss you, but they fear needing you. They want connection, but it feels safer to disconnect before they get hurt. So instead of texting you when they miss you, they sit with it. Instead of reaching out, they retreat. Instead of saying, "I miss you," they rehearse how to not need you. It's not a lack of feeling, it's a lack of safety. You have to understand, for avoidance, acting on missing you would require stepping into the exact emotional space they were trained to fear. Closeness, vulnerability, accountability, and here's the hardest part: they don't know how to regulate that storm inside them. So they bury it, distract themselves, numb it, rationalize the distance with logic. They'll be better off without me. I just need space. I'm not ready for something serious. You take it personally, thinking you weren't enough. But the truth is, no one will ever be enough for someone who doesn't feel safe being loved in the first place. This is where people get trapped. They think love will heal them, that if you're patient enough, loving enough, available enough, they'll come back when they're ready. But healing isn't a spectator sport. It requires conscious, uncomfortable action. Missing you is not enough. Because missing you in silence still leaves you empty, still leaves you waiting, still leaves you wondering if you were too much, when in reality, you were simply too real. And real love terrifies people who have only ever felt safe in emotional distance. So if they're gone and you're still hoping, ask yourself this: are you holding space for someone who's still hiding in fear? Or are you finally ready to hold space for yourself? Because their silence may come from fear, but your healing can only begin with truth. This is one of the most painful dynamics in any relationship, when one person is wired for connection and the other is wired for protection. You're trying to build a bridge, they're looking for the nearest exit. And no matter how much you give, how gently you try to approach them, it feels like you're talking to a wall that only gets higher the more you reach out. People with avoidant tendencies don't want to hurt you. That's the part that confuses everyone. They're not playing games. They're not evil. They're not monsters. They're people whose nervous systems have been conditioned to equate closeness with threat. So when you show up with love, what you see as warmth, they register as pressure. What you intend as reassurance, they interpret as invasion. It's not about you. It's about their template for survival. Psychologically, this goes deep. Many avoidants learned early on that expressing emotional needs led to disappointment, shame, or abandonment. So they adapted. They stopped asking for what they needed. They became self-sufficient to the point of emotional starvation. And now they associate intimacy with loss of control. So when you say, "I just want to understand you," they hear, "I'm trying to get inside your defenses." When you say, "I want to be close to you," they hear, "You're going to overwhelm me and I'll lose myself again." You're offering love. They're hearing danger, and that mismatch creates a heartbreaking loop. You feel rejected, not because your love is wrong, but because their walls are louder than your voice. You start to doubt yourself. You shrink. You wonder, maybe I came on too strong. Maybe I should have held back. But the truth is, it's not about being too much. It's about trying to pour love into someone who's still trying to protect an inner child that never felt safe enough to receive it. This is why connection becomes impossible when protection is someone's primary goal. Because love, by its very nature, requires openness. Risk surrender. You can't receive love while holding your shield up at the same time. And no matter how patient, kind, or emotionally intelligent you are, you cannot heal someone's fear while they're still defending it. You can't translate your love into a language they refuse to hear. And at some point, you have to decide, am I going to keep twisting myself into a shape that makes them comfortable? Or am I going to start speaking my truth, even if it means they no longer understand me? Because the love you're looking for isn't found in silence, retreat, or confusion. It's found in mutual understanding and someone willing to meet you in the middle. Their silence is your answer. Their absence is their choice. And the longer you wait for them to come back, the longer you keep yourself locked inside a story where they hold the power, and you keep waiting for an ending that may never come. I know it's tempting to leave the door open, to keep telling yourself, maybe they just need more time, maybe they'll figure it out, maybe one day they'll realize what we had. But that maybe is a slow poison. It doesn't just hurt you. It keeps you stuck in an emotional limbo where healing becomes impossible because you're still waiting for permission to move on. But you don't need their permission. You need your own. This is where most people confuse love with loyalty to pain. You think holding on means you're strong. That waiting shows how deep your love really was. But holding space for someone who won't show up isn't love itself, abandonment. And there's nothing noble about that. If someone is capable of being gone, if they can watch you hurt and still choose distance, if they miss you in silence but stay hidden behind their fear, that's not love worth waiting for. Because love, real love, is not just about feeling something. It's about showing up for it, fighting for it, choosing it not once, but again and again, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary. And someone who truly sees your value will never let fear speak louder than their effort. When someone ghosts you, when they withdraw without explanation, when they say they miss you, but never move toward you, you have to stop making excuses for that behavior. That's not sensitivity, that's avoidance, and it's not your job to decode their silence. It's your job to honor your own clarity. You can't keep waiting for a moment that may never arrive. You can't keep rehearsing a reunion that only exists in your imagination. You can't keep hoping that one day their fear will magically evolve into courage, while you shrink, question yourself, and put your life on hold. At some point, you have to reclaim the narrative. You have to say, their silence is loud enough, I hear it, I accept it, and I release it. You have to close the chapter they refuse to finish. Not out of spite, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Because your healing can't begin in a space where you keep waiting for someone who won't even meet you halfway. Let their silence be your closure, because if they needed space more than they needed you, then give them what they asked for, and give yourself what you truly deserve. Peace, clarity, and the freedom to move forward without waiting for someone too afraid to turn around.